Hello and welcome to the very first edition of 2-Minute Catholic. The way this works is you can submit to me below using the Google form any question you may have about the teachings of the Catholic Church, the reasons behind those teachings, or really any question about faith or about life is fair game. And I'll do my best to respond as thoroughly as I can in just 2 minutes. So let's dive into our first question today, which is, how does one know what to believe in the Bible? How do we know how to interpret Scripture? And what parts of Scripture should be interpreted at all? All right, great question. So let me start by saying that everything in the Bible is true. And some of it actually happened. And some of it even happened the way it's described. The goal of most of what we see in Scripture is not to convey a literal, historically accurate, and factual account of things. Sometimes that was the goal of the authors. But more often than not, it's a much deeper goal than that. Authors are trying to tell us something about who God is, about why human beings are here on earth, about what our relationship to God is and God's relationship to us, about how we are called to live and how we do that more successfully. It's not usually so much about conveying a literal, historical, accurate account of something that happened a long time ago. And that really shouldn't surprise us, because if we think about our own lives, when we're trying to communicate the things that are most important to us, the deepest truths that we know, we don't usually do that in the most literal ways with just plain language. People write poetry when simple prose won't do. Or people put words to music to more fully capture the sentiment. We use images or metaphors. We tell stories that get a point across. So it shouldn't surprise us that we find the same thing in Scripture. And again, I want to say, everything in the Bible is true. And some of it actually happened that way. I believe that nothing that I have come across unlocks the depths of human truth and of what this life is about and how to live a life of love and a life of joy quite like the Bible. And so we need to ask, as we're approaching these stories that can be difficult to understand, what is this story saying to me about God? What's it saying to me about us as human beings, about me, about how to live my life? What's the point beyond just, is this story literally true? Did this actually happen? Now that can be really hard, for sure, especially in a lot of the Old Testament, for example. But I really encourage you, get a good Bible. Get a good study Bible, the New American Bible, that'll have a lot of notes in the side column, or will have a good introduction to each chapter. That will give you a much better sense of the context in which that particular book and the stories within it were written. And it'll help certain things that might be really confusing make a lot more sense. All right, that was not close to keeping it under 2 minutes, but that's what I got for you today. Tune in next time. Thanks for watching.